For the first time ever, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway will host the second race in the IndyCar World Championship campaign. And for the first time ever, the Champ Car World Series will be racing on the Brickyard's road course variation. The Indy road course was added to the historic Speedway back in 2000 to host the United States Grand Prix for both Formula 1 and MotoGP. Formula 1 would race at the Brickyard until 2016, while MotoGP still races on the road course every July. So now, it's Champ Car's turn to take on the infield road course here at Indianapolis. 2.44 miles makes up a road course lap here at Indy. 14 corners will challenge drivers each lap, 8 to the right, 6 to the left. And drivers get 85 laps to try to make history here today. The weather today can't be much perfect if you ask for it. 67 degrees and just a slight breeze 4 miles an hour from the west end of the Speedway. It's perfect for the fans, perfect for the crews on pit lane, and I don't think the drivers will complain much about it either. Coming into today, 32 points separates Andrew Draco and Steffi Porter-Kelly for the 2020 IndyCar World title. Draco needs to outscore Porter-Kelly by 18 points if he wants to avoid the insanity that is Fontana to determine the outcome of the championship this year. With how qualifying went yesterday, that is going to be a very tall order. Porter-Kelly scored her 35th pole position in Champ Car with a performance yesterday, beating out Hazel Lacasse by 1/10 of a second to take pole, similar to how close it was for podium 2 weeks ago at Road America. Andrew Draco, on the other hand, starts in 10th, outside on the 5th row. Being that deep in traffic going into turn 1 here in Indianapolis is going to be quite a struggle, especially with this much at stake. 6 drivers have experience on this track, obviously not with Champ Car machinery. 5 raced here when Formula 1 came to the track. Porter-Kelly, Cuny Kinoshita, Cameron Jackson, Siri Lundqvist, and Simona Leroux. Nicole Lechty raced here when Formula 2 came to Indianapolis for the road course support race. Everyone else, they were learning this track for the very first time this weekend. Hazel Lacasse, once again shining, as she took second place outside front row. Ray Taylor starting 4th. But everyone else has a bit more to work on. So we get to see the battle between Lacasse and Porter-Kelly continue from Road America. But a lot's different. Obviously, more laps. 50 laps at Road America versus 85 here today. We're also using different tires. The red walls, the soft Firestone tires, will be in use. Strategy will be at a premium, even more than what it was in Wisconsin 2 weeks ago. So for the drivers that have experience, Porter-Kelly, Kinoshita especially, does this experience at the road course help? It very well might, given where they're positioned compared to everyone else. 4 of the 5 drivers that have experience at the road course all qualify within the top half of the field, all qualify within the top 13. That is staggering, and that could be a big difference maker today. So we'll go down the starting grid. We talked about Porter-Kelly and Lacasse. Kinoshita starting 3rd, Ray Taylor starting 4th. We talked about those 2 already. Row 3 is David Wessel and Nicole Lechty. The road course trophy, the discipline trophy, is determined today. And it's between 3 drivers. It is between Andrew Draco, who currently leads by 14 over David Wessel, and then Porter-Kelly's 29 points behind. With this being the last road course race of the season, we will know who has the best road course performance of the year by the time this race is done. And with that is a $1 million bonus. So a lot to work for today, especially for those 3 drivers, knowing how much is at stake.
Start your engines!
As you heard, there's the command to start engines. We are about to start the formation lap here at Indianapolis. And it looks like everyone's rolling. You're good. So we talked about David Wessel and Nicoletti being in row 3. Marcelli and Christina Espinosa sitting in row 4. Sakura Ishibashi, Andrew Draco in row 5. Ishibashi mathematically still has a chance, but she needs everything to go right for her and everything to go wrong for Andrew Draco and Stephanie Porter-Kelly to be able to remain within contention going into Fontana in 2 weeks. The last of the Q2 qualifiers, Kaylee Zappa and Natalia Kurachenko. Kurachenko confirmed Rookie of the Year for 2020. But 12th, not where she wanted to be. First of the Q1 knockouts is Isabel Espinoza. She's alongside Carmen Jackson, who debuts a brand new scheme for the race this weekend. You see how that one looks, celebrating the release of the PlayStation 5 this holiday season. And you see how short the lap already is here in Indianapolis. They're almost back out onto the oval. Row 8 is Simona Leroux and Suri Lundqvist. Tyler Parker and Lucian Latchbelt makes row 9. Keisha Fox and Ronald Walker row 10. LM Competition Cars and Mildred Moon and Gerard Perth row 11. Brad Neri, Esther Hobson row 12, and Cody Blackman and Jace Clark round out the grid to finish up the starting order there. But it's Porter-Kelly and Hazel Lacasse that'll lead the field to green. We are green here at Indianapolis. And you see how wild the braking gets into turn 1. It's 3 wide. Porter-Kelly's being swallowed up. Lacasse, Kenosha trying to go for the lead, and she will take it. It's Kenosha, then it's 3 wide between Marcelli, Porter-Kelly, and Lacasse had to kind of be the odd one out. And there's contact behind the top 3. Everyone going really wide there. And there's a car upside down. That's Hobson. Hobson upside down. Yellow's out. Keisha Fox was involved, and so was Andrew Draco. How much was Draco involved? We will have to find out, but the championship leader is now outside the top 20. Bad news for Andrew Draco, who is trying to claim his second world title. And we'll go back and look at that in just a second. A very crazy opening lap. Brad Neri went from 23rd on the grid to 7th. Absolute chaos. There's Kenosha. She's got the race lead. Porter-Kelly dropped to 2nd, so she lost 1 position. Lacasse lost 2. Marcelli started 7th, is up to 3rd, so 4 spots gained for Marcelli. David Wessel stayed relatively even where he was. Isabel Espinosa's a big gainer. Brad Neri, talked about him going from 23rd to 7th. He's the biggest gainer of the race so far. Cody Blackman from 25th on the grid to 8th. So Blackman's the largest gainer on the grid. Ray Taylor lost a couple spots. Mildred Moon lost a couple spots. Ray Taylor's out! Ray Taylor's engine's expired. So in the first 2 laps, we've already got 2 retirements and the championship leader at the back of the field. So now Ray Taylor's going to try to make it back to pit lane. Moving off to the inside, trying to let people by. It has all gone wrong for Andrew Draco. We'll go back and we'll look at the start. We'll look at the start here. Because Draco's immediately stuffed into a 4-wide situation there. Nowhere really for him to go. Side by side, Christina Espinosa, Kaylee Zappa. Where does he get involved in this? Does he get shoved out wide? There's Kurachenko making a move. And that's what happened. Oh, Neri literally just forced Hobson wide. Draco really didn't get a lot of damage out of that compared to Keisha Fox, who got turned around. But he did lose a lot of positions, so Draco could recover from this. But it's going to be a rough time trying to get his way back up to the field here. And you see, it's 4 wide, several rows. There's a lot of cars spun out here. That is Sakura Shibashi who gets spun because they're 4 wide. Isabel Spinoza, David Wessel, Hazel DeCass, and Sakura Shibashi. They're 4 wide. Everyone moves to avoid. And yeah, Neri had nowhere to go, and Hofston just goes up and over. And the melee ensues. So Kenosha pit. We're not sure why, but that puts Jace Clark, who started dead last in this race, but is now the race leader. Ray Taylor's out with gearbox issues. Esther Hofston trying to see if she can continue, much like what David Wessel did at Road America 2 weeks ago. Who would have read the room like this? Jace Clark, Patrick Marcelli, Isabel Espinoza top 3, Stephanie Porter Kelly sitting in 4th position, Brad Neri 5th, Hazel DeCass 6th, 7th is David Wessel, 8th is Cody Blackman, 9th is Mildred Moon, 10th is Cameron Jackson, 11th Kimisa Kenosha, and 11th Kaylee Zappa. So, all 3 Cat Devil Racing cars sitting line astern. As everyone crosses the line here to update the timing. Hofston is rolling. She's back in pit lane, but she is rolling. Andrew Draco at the very back. The only person behind him is Natalia Kurachenko. A lot of work needs to be done for him. So Kenosha 11th, Zappa 12th, Tyler Parker up to 13th. Gerard Perth 14th, sorry. Siri Lindquist is 15th. You see there's damage on Zappa's car that they didn't fix. There's damage on the side pod there. Nicole Lecty 16th, Christina Spinoza 17th, Ronald Walker 18th, Simona LaRoe 19th, Lucian Latchfeld down to 20th. 21st is Sakura Shibashi, 22nd is Keisha Fox, who was turned around in that first lap melee. Andrew Draco, 23rd. 24th is Natalia Kurachenko, and then 25th will be Esther Hofston, now that we know that she is running in this race. So Ray Taylor will be the only DNF so far down because of a gearbox failure. But it's going to be Jace Clark leading his first laps since Brno, all the way back in March. An up-down season for Jace Clark. Led 36 laps at Brno, has not led a lap since. Injured at Homestead in the accident with Gerard Perth. Came back after having his car filled in for by Evangeline Porter and Astrid Crane during his absence. Came back, has not really had the results mirroring what he had been able to show during the early part of the season, especially with that dominating performance at Brno, but now he's got clean air and someone of relative unluckiness behind him with Patrick Marcelli. It looks like we've got 2 more laps of caution. Kind of making sure that everything's cleared up going through the first several turns. There was cars in the wall on that opening lap. There was obviously the flip with Hassan and Keisha Fox being turned around, so carbon fiber, a definite concern. But what a start. The big highlight of that is that Andrew Draco is next to last. As it stands, if this is even remotely close to how it finishes, Stephanie Porter Kelly comes out of Indianapolis Road Course as the points leader. going into Fontana, where she has one of the odds-on favorite chances of winning the race. Sakura Shibashi didn't get a lot of favors from that caution, obviously being spun around. She's sitting 21st. So her chances are next to completely over to try to go for the championship in Fontana. But Draco, if he cannot get back up close to the top 10, he is losing a ton of points. And Porter Kelly's not in an easy situation to be at either. Isabel Espinosa is a 2-time race winner this season. Porter Kelly won a race at Homestead. Clark's won a race at Brno. Marcelli has not won a race. He's the only driver in the top 6, in the top 7 that have not won a race. Cody Blackman, sitting in 8th, has not led a lap all year. He is the only full-time driver to have not led a lap, but he's got a podium from New Hampshire. As you see, the lights are out on the safety car. Chevrolet Camaro ZR1. ZL1, excuse me. ZR1's Corvette. The ZL1 Camaro lights are out. That means 1 lap until green. We are going green at the end of this lap. And the drivers are anxious. So here we go. You see a bit of tailgating by Marcelli. Jace Clark trying to warm up the brakes here. That is going to be vital. So for Jace Clark, this is a chance really to capitalize on this for Black Rose Racing. Obviously, Clark won at Brno, Lechty won at Watkins Glen, but they've been very inconsistent. A win here at the first road course race Champ Car has run at Indianapolis, I think would be a pretty nice topping on what has been a very upside-down season for the team. Going through the final chicane complex now. Turn 12, turn 14, turn 13 here, and then turn 14 up ahead of these drivers now. Pace car pulls off into pit lane. The restart is on Jace Clark's call. You see where the zone starts. Jace Clark holds it. But there he goes. We are back to racing here at Indianapolis. And immediately, Hazel Lacasse gets a move on and trying to get past Brad Neri. Marcelli trying to get past Jace Clark. They're side by side going into turn 1. Marcelli's going to make it happen. And there's already a spin. Another yellow. It's Kenosha with a lot of damage. Mildred Moon and Lucian Lachapelle trying to get out of the sand. Everyone trying to navigate the first couple of corners here, and they navigate the problem spot from the first caution. So Draco makes up spots. But the yellow comes out once again. Marcelli's leading. Hazel Lacasse jumped from 6th, trying to get to 3rd. Side by side with Isabel Espinosa. Still gonna be side by side. Lacasse rolling over the curbing. And Porter Kelly's gonna try to take 2 in one go. Under braking into the chicane. Very close for Porter Kelly. Trying to get into the podium as well. Isabel Espinosa with a lot better traction out of turn 13. She'll hold on to 3rd, and now Lacasse has to try to hold on from David Wessel before the line. And she does. And there's 3 wide. 3 wide in the back, and they're turned. They're turned. That is trouble. They were 3 wide racing to the line. Ronald Walker, Kaylee Zappa, and that looked like that was Keisha Fox involved. So Ronald Walker's gained even more spots out of this. Craziness. Trying to capitalize on everything going on. These drivers are having an absolute fit right now. There's LaChapelle. He was in the sand. Kaylee Zappa with a ton of damage on both sides of her car. She's also got wing damage. You can see that on the front. The wing, the front wing is off angle at a severe rate. Ronald Walker trying to get back in formation here. It's based on where they cross the line at. So this is where Ronald Walker is about relatively. He's trying to get back. I think he's trying to get back to his spot. I don't think he was this far up, but he might have been because there's Keisha Fox waiting for him. So that might have actually been accurate. So Andrew Draco just got a huge break. Well, dropping down to 24th. He now sits, relatively speaking, Draco sits within a good chance here. So most people are coming in. Not Hofson. Hofson's not in the lead lap, so she can't come in this time. She'll come in next time. So we're looking at how pit lane goes here. Kenosha coming in. Zappa's got a lot of damage that needs fixed. Isabel Espinoza trying to run out of pit lane. She may inherit the lead here. She will do so. Hazel Lacasse going to leapfrog to second. Then it's Brad Neri third. And there's crashing in pit lane. It stacks everybody up. That's Zappa. Not Zappa, that's Neri and Wessel. And then even there's retaliation. David Wessel retaliating against Brad Neri as they exit pit lane. So both of them will have to come back in. Lundqvist was also turned. That was Lundqvist and Lechty. Neri having serious issues now after being there was issues. They were all going for the same real estate. Neri's got serious issues. He's not even taking the racing line. He's got to come back in. He's staying off the racing line here. So massive issues for Brad Neri. You see the damage. It's self-explanatory there. Nicole Lechty also has damage. You can see that on the right side of her front wing. She's got damage. So does Siri Lundqvist. So what a chaotic first 10 laps here at Indianapolis. That pit lane incident between Neri and Wessel is going to be looked at by officials surely after this race, because that was retaliatory, if I've ever seen it. See if we can find LaChapelle, because LaChapelle was involved in what brought out the second caution. wherever LaChapelle is at. Where is LaChapelle? Is he out of this race? LaChapelle is out. This is chaos. Absolute chaos right now. So we're going to see if we can give this another shot here. It's Isabel Espinoza. So we still got a couple laps. We'll see if we can go back and at least look at some of this. We'll see if we can go back here. Because this is... Where is LaChapelle? There's LaChapelle here. So we'll look at the restart here. Because this is LaChapelle going against Simona Leroux. And there's already spinning there. Zappa comes back. LaChapelle just gets shoved into the sand there. So really that comes down to Kaylee Zappa and her rejoin. And then these guys are all racing to the line. So Ronald Walker, Kaylee Zappa and everything. So we'll see, because Ronald Walker was involved in that spin. Carmen, you see Tyler Parker's got damage on the side of his car after all of this. Kaylee Zappa's hit everything but the snack bar at this point. So we'll look to see what happens going across the line here while we're waiting for everything to go back to racing conditions. And here's the battle. There's Andrew Draco. How much was he involved in this? Because they are 3 wide. Draco's in front of it. Draco just barely clears it all. Kelly Zapp, Keisha Fox gets tagged. Simona Leroux gets a little piece of it. And then we'll look at Brad Neri. Next lap. So we'll look at the initial contact here. And Neri could be further closer to the wall, but he's not. And then they wreck. And then Wessel comes back and just turns Neri once more. And then further back, yeah, there's not Kenosha, but Lundqvist and Lechty. And then both Cherokee teammates collide because of Lundqvist. And Lundqvist stays on her wheels there. But that is an interesting little summarization of what happened on that caution alone. So we're going to try to get back at it here. It's Isabel Espinoza, Hazel Lacasse, and Cody Blackman sitting in third now. Patrick Marcelli, Jace Clark, Stephanie Porter-Kelly, Gerard Perez, Cameron Jackson, Nicole Lechty is somehow ninth. Siri Lundqvist 10th, so they're still nose to tail on this restart. We're not done yet, folks. I don't believe. And we're down to 24 cars running. 23 on the lead lap. But here we go, green flag for the third time here in Indianapolis. See Neri at the very tail end there, he did catch up. And whoa, that block! Gerard Perth on Cameron Jackson going into turn 1. And it didn't work. Cameron Jackson still sent it. But now there's the championship contenders side by side, 3 wide with Lecty in the middle. We're looking mid-pack. There's Andrew Draco in the gold and black. And there's contact. Porter Kelly's in it. And that's Gerard Perth being spun around like a pinball. But it stays green. That one stays green. Isabel Espinosa obviously well in the clear. Cody Blackman up to second. Cameron Jackson to third. Hazel Lacasse fourth. Patrick Marcelli fifth. Jace Clark, Christina Espinosa side by side. See Stephanie Porter Kelly trying to battle back here. Her championship contender, her championship rival, right ahead of her. Drivers coming in. Mildred Moon is one of them. Sakura Shibashi is in. Ronald Walker's also in. They were mid-pack, lower back of the field. But we have had a green flag lap officially. Kenosha going after Leroux. Kaylee Zappa's back in the mix. There's Gerard Perth after being spun around. He's got front wing damage. David Wessel is also got front wing damage. You see that on the right side of his car. Brad Nary's still there. Sakura Shibashi with damage. They're trying to repair that the best they can. Ronald Walker, Mildred Moon, also in pit lane. But now it is Cameron Jackson chasing down Isabel Espinosa. Cameron Jackson, winner at Richmond. Isabel Espinosa, her first career champ car win came at Motegi. And she's had another win since then. She's one of only 2 drivers that have won more than one race this year. Jace Clark's in. More drivers have come in. A lot of drivers come in. Andrew Draco's one of them. So a lot of drivers have run over debris. Apparently there's debris on the backstretch, and it's sending a lot of drivers to come in for new tires. So everyone right now is in an absolute tailspin. Porter Kelly's in. Draco stayed out, excuse me. It was Porter Kelly that came in, Draco stayed out. For now. But there's Isabel Espinosa, Cameron Jackson, and Cody Blackman sitting in third position. And he's going to have some stiff opposition from Hazel Lacasse, who missed out on podium by just a smidge at Road America. Cody Blackman's got one podium at New Hampshire. Hazel Lacasse looking for another podium on top of her win from Toronto back in June. Side by side, going through the chicane, turn 13. Lacasse takes it relatively easily. Now she's got to make sure that Cody Blackman doesn't try to get a run out of turn 14 onto the front straightaway. And it works. So Lacasse has made it through. Now Cody Blackman's got to hold off Patrick Marcelli, who is in for possibly the best result of his season so far. Andrew Draco's made it up to 6th position after being down in 24th after the first yellow. Esther Hofson sitting a lap down, I believe. Yeah, 1 lap down. Natalia Kurchenko's out of this race. So 2 of the 3 Strikers cars are out of this race. The other, Stephanie Porter Kelly, driving with damage. This is not how she needed the race to go in the slightest. Kenosha trying to get past Esther Hofson. It's not going so well, going through that little flick chicane. See Kaylee Zappa going through it now, then it's David Wessel. Brad Nary trying to survive. You have Simona Leroux, Tyler Parker, Jace Clark, who came in, I'm assuming because of debris, because he was ahead of all of the calamity. Christina Espinoza came in. Stephanie Porter Kelly came in. Ronald Walker. A lot of cars involved in an incident so far today, both Cherokee cars. Then there's Nicole Lechty. Gerard Perth came in. Gerard Perth in danger of going a lap down on the track, because there's the top two right now. It is a league of their own. Isabel Espinoza and Carmen Jackson within half a second of each other, and then it's 3 seconds plus to Hazel Lacasse in third. Hazel Lacasse has to start charging. It's a 1-2 for Honda. Alpine Renault sitting in third as far as the engine manufacturers are concerned, and then Mercedes in fourth with Cody Blackman. Looking at see what the gap is when they come out of turn 14 here onto the front straightaway and across the line for Isabel Espinoza. The gap is about the same, a little bit in advantage of Espinoza, but Cameron Jackson late on the brakes going into turn 1. It's how he got it second to begin with, and he definitely closes the gap. It's a noticeable difference. Cameron Jackson racing super aggressive to try to make the gap work, and this is the closest he's been in quite some time, almost to the gearbox of Espinoza. Neri, despite all the incidents from pit lane, sits in 10th position. So Neri somehow still within top 10 range. Same with Kelly Zappa and Kuni Kinoshita. So this is the look at the race lead right now. We're on lap 18, or about to finish lap 18 of 85. We've had 3 yellows so far in this race. The gap opened up massively that lap. Actually, no, the gap stayed exactly the same. It's just that Cameron Jackson's got a better first half, whereas looks like Isabel's got a better second half of the laps. The tighter parts of the lap seem to go in favor of Espinoza. Cameron Jackson has, looks like, more speed in the car compared to Espinoza. So here we are looking at the gap's starting to open up a little bit. See if Cameron Jackson can try to close it before they get back on the oval here. Isabel Espinoza starting to try to run away. It is an interesting dilemma for Cameron Jackson. He's on the podium, safely on the podium. Hazel Lacasse, right now, well and truly in third position. Then it's Patrick Marcelli, Andrew Draco up to 5th, Cody Blackman falling down the order. There he's now in 6th. Kini Kanosh just 7th. Esther Hofson 1 lap down. Not really anyone for her to race yet. Kelly Zappa, look at the damage on the front of her car. She's somehow still sitting in 8th. Then it's David Wessel 9th. Brad Neri sitting in 10th with a massive amount of damage on the suspension and the front wing. But he hasn't pit yet, but there's a lot of cars coming. Simona LaRoe, Tyler Parker, Jace Clark, Christina Espinoza, Stephanie Porter Kelly. Then you have Ronald Walker, Sakura Shibashi, Mildred Moon. You have the Cherokee GP cars trying to go side by side through the flick. And Nicole Lechty trying to put her nose in it as well. Lundqvist currently ahead of Keisha Fox in the teammate exchange for Cherokee GP. Gerard Perth, and then there's the gap between Perth and Isabel Espinoza, the race leader. Perth about to go a lap down within the next couple of laps. The damage on his car probably too much to bear, but Cameron Jackson has closed the gap a lot coming into the chicane to finish the lap. Cameron Jackson forces Isabel Espinosa into a mistake, and now it's side-by-side for the lead coming out of the final corner. Cameron Jackson's going to take it from her. Cameron Jackson now the race leader across the line. Side-by-side, and Cameron Jackson didn't give Espinosa any room on the exit of that corner, and what a block by Cameron Jackson. He made his move before Espinosa did, which is fair play. But what a block under braking. Absolute bravery from Cameron Jackson. We talked about the experience before the race. Experience right now means very little, but for Cameron Jackson, that's the difference. The difference between him and Isabel Espinosa is Cameron Jackson's raced on this track before. He's raced on this layout. Isabel's seen it, but she's never driven on it before until this weekend. So she's having to figure this out, and Cameron Jackson forced her into a mistake at the most crucial part of the track. So what a way to go for Cameron Jackson as he gets by, and now he's starting to pull away from Isabel Espinosa. Cameron Jackson holding a very tight line, taking the outside, trying to get as much momentum as possible onto the straightaway to finish the lap, and will do so. The gap is now 0.39. You see the top five further on behind. Hazel Lacasse in third at the very top of your screen. Andrew Draco's moved up to fourth. Draco, remember, he has not had damage. He dropped to 24th because we essentially just waited for Keisha Fox and Esther Hofson to move at the beginning of the race. So he's a clean car. Marcelli's not so clean. Lacasse is clean, and so are the top two in the race so far, Cameron Jackson and Isabel Espinosa. But Draco's got one of the best looking cars right now as far as performance goes. In fact, outside of Cameron Jackson, Andrew Draco's running the second fastest lap of the race so far. Not that that means a whole lot right now anyways. Coming into the chicane, Cameron Jackson getting as close to the wall as possible to make a wide apex here. On the release date weekend of the PlayStation 5, Cameron Jackson carrying the brand for Sony in the race lead at the center of motorsports, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So as far as brand identity goes, Sony and PlayStation have hit it home so far. But Isabel Espinosa is not giving up without a fight at all. Remember that they are on the red wall tires. A lot of the drivers that have pit before do have a different pit cycle now. So the likes of Gerard Perth, who is right ahead of the leaders right now, has pit. So he's going to be able to stay out a little bit longer. His tire's a little bit fresher. So now he's able to kind of run away and stay away from the leaders until after they pit. And then he'll have to pit again and see where he cycles out. Super close once more between the top two. Isabel Espinosa trying to get close. She's going to try to send it through the chicane. It looks like they are going to be side by side. Side by side once more. Cameron Jackson, can he get the power down? It looks like he might, but Espinosa's got the shorter way around. And she will take it, but they're still side by side. It's not over yet. Cameron Jackson's got the run on the outside that we expected. And Andrew Draco's charging for a podium right now. They're still side by side. Cameron Jackson tries to hold on to the lead going through turn 2, but doesn't have the line for turns 3 and 4. Isabel Espinosa back on the point. Hazel Lacasse trying to hold off the World Championship leader in Andrew Draco. What a first quarter of the race that we've had so far. We're on lap 24 of 85. And the caution is out. Fourth caution of the day, and that is Brad Neri. He's come to a stop, and Sakura Shibashi not looking much better. That is Jace Clark with a huge amount of damage. So multiple cars involved. Another serious accident for Jace Clark. A very bad race. There's Sakura Shibashi making it to pit lane safely, thankfully. Jace Clark with a lot of damage on the back of that number 7. And Sakura Shibashi's race is done as well. See if we can go and take a look at it. This happened. So we'll see what happened here. So Jace Clark's got an engine issue here. So we see this. He's got an engine problem. Ishibashi thinks he's going to go low. He doesn't. So he's got damage there. Where does Brad Neri come in? There's Neri, and he's got nowhere to go. So there's the damage for Neri. Neri had nowhere to go. He was side by side with Siri Lundqvist going into the chicane. So a huge accident. And Jace Clark just trying to make it to pit lane. And as a result, is now out of this race with two serious hits. Now we're going to try to go back to that live feed here. There's everyone coming into pit lane here. Now it's going to be on Isabel Espinoza, Carmen Jackson in second. What a race we've had so far. 26 to 85 is what we're on right now. 25 laps in the books completely. How many cars are left in this race? Jackson and Isabel Espinoza left at the exact same time. Oh, and Andrew Draco came on traffic. Unsafe release for Andrew Draco, and now there's trouble in pit lane. Andrew Draco came out in dangerous traffic. Cody Blackman couldn't even pit. So Andrew Draco's now got damage. No, he's no longer a clean car. Released into traffic, Andrew Draco. That changes things a little bit more. Can you tell it's the last race of the road course part of the season? The 10th and last road course, 19th race of 20. Things have gone absolutely wild here in Indianapolis. So we'll take a look. We're down to 20. We're down to 20. Two of the striker cars retired. Ray Taylor out early on lap 2 because of a gearbox failure, and then Brad Neri, Sakura Shibashi, and Jace Clark all out because of the accident of the most recent caution. Cody Blackman stayed out. So here we are. This is... what a wild day we've had so far. Hazel Lacasse sits third now in the standings. Then it's Patrick Marcelli back in fourth, Kenny Kenosha in fifth, Cody Blackman in sixth, but now he's got damage. Andrew Draco's got damage now in seventh. Kaylee Zappa with a lot of damage still in eighth. David Wessel now in ninth with a lot of suspension damage from the pit lane incident earlier. Christina Espinoza 10th. Simona Leroux 11th. Stephanie Porter Kelly 12th. Tyler Parker 13th. 14th Mildred Moon. 15th is Ronald Walker. 16th Nicole Leckie. 17th Siri Lundquist. 18th Keisha Fox. So both Cherokee GP cars somehow still going. 19th is Gerard Perth, and 20th is Esther Hofson. Now, normally, we don't talk about the people driving the pace car. We genuinely don't. We don't talk about them that much. The pace car driver for this race is Sonia Bartlett. Now, she's been out of action for quite a few years now. But with how this race is going, she may be classified as a race finisher by the time this one is over. It's been an absolute crazy race so far, and we're just a quarter of the way in. So we've got a couple more laps of caution here. See as everyone checks up, Isabel Spinoza checks up with Cameron Jackson. Lights are out on the safety car, meaning we're going green at the end of this lap for the 5th time. What a race it's been. Absolutely incredible so far. We've not had a green flag pit stop at all. I don't see a green flag pit stop happening for a little bit either. So there's Isabel Espinoza. Cameron Jackson's right behind her. Good look at the 21-year-old Argentinian as she leads, trying to win her 3rd race of the year. Coming back onto the Indianapolis Speedway oval section here before coming back into the chicane. Turn 12, turn 13, and then turn 14. You see the fans in attendance. They're getting quite the treat so far. It's been chaos at every corner. But here we go again. And now it's racing. We're back under green at Indianapolis. 20 cars running, 19 on the lead lap. 6 cars out. Lacasse trying to make it a run for it. There's 3 wide and 4 wide. Further in the back still. Lacasse the second. Marcelli trying to take third away from Cameron Jackson. Cameron Jackson with a bad start. But not bad enough. Andrew Draco trying to stick his nose in to try to make something happen. But he stays 5th. He passed Cody Blackman, who's dropped down lower. Kenosha going to try to get past the championship leader. Cameron Jackson, Patrick Marcelli. There's Andrew Draco. CUNY Kenosha now trying to get through. CUNY trying to take 5th away from Andrew Draco. Porter Kelly is hoping that happens. You see the wall of cars between Porter Kelly and Andrew Draco. Neither car is at 100% now. So Hazel Lacasse goes back to 2nd, where she started at the beginning of this race. Can she chase down Isabel Espinosa? You see the braking for Andrew Draco and CUNY Kenosha. Kaylee Zappa trying to pass Cody Blackman. They've been battling all lap long since we went back to green. Tyler Parker with a lot of damage, especially on the left side of his front wing there. Also trying to battle. He's sitting 9th. This is a battle for 7th, 8th, and 9th. And there's the battle for 10th between Mildred Moon, Ronald Walker, David Wessel, Stephanie Porter Kelly. Going to get past Wessel here. Hofson, given how she's been upside down, has some relative pace compared to the cars around her right now. Not a bad look for the 28 car. If she can get back on the lead lap, she might have a shot at it. Top 3 are all getting relatively close once again here for the podium. Draco's in. Draco's in. So once again, the championship order's upside down. And they're side by side behind. That's Gerard Perth and Siri Lundquist. So now there's serious concerns for Andrew Draco. He's now down to 19th position once again. Oh boy. This is not a good look. Top 3 are all covered under a blanket right now. It's Espinoza, Lacasse, and Cameron Jackson. Patrick Marcelli 4th, CUNY Kenosha up to 5th. Cody Blackman back up to 6th. Then it's Kaylee Zappa, Tyler Parker, Mildred Moon, and Ronald Walker rounding out the top 10 so far. The halfway point is the end of lap 43. So we've got 11 laps to go this time. Cameron Jackson just got past Hazel Lacasse. That is for 2nd place. They're in line astern going into turn 1. But for Andrew Draco, it is disaster now. It was disaster before, and then it came back to him. Gerard Perth is also in pit lane, so he'll gain 1 place back. But that was not a planned pit stop for the 13 of Andrew Draco. You can tell how much it means to Phantom Motors, to especially Draco, to try to get a second world title. Last time Draco won the championship in 2017, it was with Black Rose Racing. The following year, he joined Phantom Motors, trying to build the team into being championship caliber. And while he's absolutely done that, it would be absolutely gut-wrenching if this season came out without a title in hand. The points gap is so fluctuating. It was 32 points at the beginning of this race. As it stands, Porter Kelly is sitting with 19 points in hand. Well, 20 points in hand because of the lap led. Andrew Draco is sitting with 12. So the gap only shrinks by 8. It shrinks down to 24 points. Which is not, it's still not great for Porter Kelly, given how she has to win the race and Draco has to finish almost outside the top 10. So the carnage has been absolutely real. Porter Kelly needs to work herself back up through the field. And it's going to be difficult because she's got damage. It's a matter of how much. There's more issues there. That's Christina Espinoza. We're under yellow. We're not sure why. That might be, Christina Espinoza might be the reason why. Try to figure out here. She might have come from pit lane here. No, she was on pit lane. So where did the accident occur here? Trying to figure out when this caution occurs. Trying to figure out, oh, that's why. Yeah, she came to a stop on the front straightaway, so that's why. So it was Christina Espinoza. And she just comes to a sudden stop. So now Christina Espinoza's a lap down. So that helps out Andrew Draco a little bit. But now this pit stop for everyone else is going to be pretty vital. And I'm assuming Draco is not going to stay out. But he needs to catch up first. He's only able to go so fast. And he's coming to pit lane anyway. So Draco might be having some serious issues. 3 cars now, 1 lap down. Andrew Draco's coming in, and he's coming in so far behind everyone else that it will not matter. Patrick Marcelli takes the race lead on pit lane. Then it's Tyler Parker, Mildred Moon, Kaylee Zappa, and there's contact between Lacasse and Ronald Walker. A lot more peaceful that time around between the 2 Kiwis. But still contact coming out of pit lane for those 2. Indianapolis is one of the most narrow pit lanes on the Champ Car calendar. And it is playing havoc so far today. Marcelli, Parker, Mildred Moon are the top 3 out of the pit lane. Then it's Kaylee Zappa. Then it's Isabel Espinosa. Then Cameron Jackson. Then Hazel Lacasse. Ronald Walker. Cody Blackman. So both Apex cars sitting line astern. Nicole Lechty. Then it's Keisha Fox. Cuny Kinoshita. David Wessel. Steffi Porter Kelly. Simona Leroux. Siri Lundquist. And then Andrew Draco. Andrew Draco is extremely off pace. It is not a good time right now for them. So, we are back into a lot of dismay. We'll wait to see how everything stacks up here. See how everything sorts out. What a race this has been. What an absolute race this has been. So Mildred Moon, off of the podium that she got 2 weeks ago at Road America, trying to get another one back-to-back here. Kaylee Zappa trying to get a podium for the second time all season. Isabel Espinosa trying to get through traffic. Lights are out in the safety car once again. 20 cars still running. Gerard Perth 2 laps down. Esther Hobson and Christina Espinosa now 1 lap down. It's Patrick Marcelli back in the lead here at Indianapolis. Tyler Parker now sitting provisionally in 2nd place. But with a wounded car, how much is he going to be able to sit there? Marcelli with an engine failure! The bad luck continues for the 82 car. That is an engine failure for Patrick Marcelli from the lead. Marcelli will not see the checker flag once again. Marcelli's trying to stay out of the way here. He should be able to relatively easily. So now Tyler Parker is going to be leading the field of green. Marcelli makes it to pit lane safely. So we're going to end up down to 19. And we're back to green here in Indianapolis for the 6th time. And immediately Mildred Moon pulls alongside going into turn 1. Almost 3 wide. Between Jackson, Espinoza, and Lacasse. Moon to the point. Mildred Moon on point now. Then it's Cameron Jackson, Tyler Parker, Hayes Lacasse. You would expect that Tyler Parker is going to let Hayes Lacasse by with no problems here. In fact, that'll happen. Lacasse going to have the inside line going down the Boulevard straight. Tyler Parker not wanting to slow down too often much, but will give the position to Lacasse. And he will stay in front of Isabel Espinoza. That is teamwork at its finest there. Tyler Parker playing a very team sport here. Helping ensure that Hazel Lacasse has a chance at going and chasing down Cameron Jackson and Mildred Moon. Behind, it's just about anybody's game. Andrew Draco. You see Porter Kelly. Porter Kelly looks like she got spun around, so she's in the back, and that is another yellow. And that is the Keisha Fox is why, and it might be Porter Kelly too. Another caution. Absolute insanity coming out of this race so far. And there's why, yeah. Curb hop. Spins it out. And that is several cars involved. See if we can count them, because that is almost her teammate Kovalkiewicz. You see Cody Blackman spinning. That might be separate. No, that's contact from Keisha Fox. So both of them go into a spin. Lechty, Kinoshita, and Porter Kelly all collected in that as well. So this is going to be rough. We're back at it one more time, under yellow. So the halfway point, much as a good chunk of the beginning part of this race, is going to be under yellow. Cameron Jackson got the race lead from Mildred Moon. We missed that part due to looking at Keisha Fox and seeing what happened with her accident. Christina Espinoza a lap down, so she's staying out for right now. Esther Hobson will do the same. And so was Gerard Perth. So the top 3 in the championship standings are all having really, really abysmal days. Ishibashi's already out. Cameron Jackson blocking Andrew Draco from entering. That's going to slow Draco down. Cameron Jackson's going to hold the race lead. Mildred Moon gets held up. She'll end up 3rd. Then it's Isabel Espinosa, Siri Lundqvist up to the top 5. Tyler Parker, Ronald Walker, Simona Leroux, David Wessel, Kaylee Zappa, Stephanie Porter-Kelly back ahead of Andrew Draco, but it's 1 point difference at this point. Neither driver is having a lucky race so far. Porter-Kelly from pole position, trying to get the gap as far down as possible to give her a best chance at taking the title at Fontana. Draco's trying to prevent that from happening. Neither are looking impressive so far. It's been an absolute upside-down race. See the lap cars leading the line right now. They get to come in this time around. Cameron Jackson will be the race leader. Then it'll be Hazel Lacasse and Mildred Moon. Mildred Moon dropping to 3rd here. So Keisha Fox out of this race. So is Cody Blackman's out of this race as well. And so is Patrick Marcelli. So we are down to 17 drivers on track. 9 cars are out of this Grand Prix. This lap is the halfway point. When they finish this, there'll be less than half the race to go. Those of you tuning in from wherever you're at, half the race is gone. We had expected that more of this race would be gone than that. But we've had 7 yellows. This is the 7th caution that we have had today. Cameron Jackson leads. You're looking at him driving the PlayStation 5, number 19 Honda for Cat Devil Racing. Then it's Hazel Lacasse 2nd, Mildred Moon 3rd. Their battle continuing from Road America. Isabel Espinosa's 4th. Siri Lundqvist, who has been up and down the entire order today, sits in 5th. Tyler Parker, who led the last restart, sits in 6th. Then it's Ronald Walker, Simona Leroux, David Wessel, and Kaylee Zappa. Of all the cars that are in the top 10 right now, only the top 4 are clean. If you're talking about the championship points, nothing's changing. Andrew Draco and Stephanie Porter-Kelly are nose to tail, line astern, 11th and 12th. Any gains that Porter-Kelly was going to have been mitigated completely by the absolute insanity that has been this race. So unless Draco drops out and Porter-Kelly gets herself into the top 5, Draco's still going to have the advantage going into Fontana for the season finale in 2 weeks' time. That being said, we've already lost 9 cars, and we've just finished the first half of the race. So, what do I know? The answer to that is not a whole lot, because we have Patrick Marcelli drop out from the lead, such as his luck. Tyler Parker's led with half a front wing. Cameron Jackson and Hazel Lacasse have been consistent runners this race. So has Mildred Moon and Isabel Espinoza. We weren't expecting those names to be talked about as consistently on the front. We were expecting Steffi Porter-Kelly to be up here. We were expecting to be talking about Andrew Draco and how he's going to have to charge through the field to try and mitigate the damage. Andrew Draco's not had to mitigate anything. Porter-Kelly's just had bad luck, and drivers just keep dropping left and right. So if Andrew Draco does decide that he doesn't want to race anymore, or if he wrecks out now, the worst he gets is 13 points. Which is a lot better than 5. And Porter-Kelly's with a damaged car, she's not in winning contention anymore. So Draco right now is just cruising. As long as he keeps Porter-Kelly in his sights, he's going into Fontana as a favorite to win the world title. But that's the whole thing, is we're half the race in, and we have no idea how anything's going to play out. Lights are out on the Camaro pace car. 17 cars left. It's a lot smaller of a field than what it was when we started. Lundqvist trying to match her best result since she's come back to Champ Car Racing. It's Jackson, Lacasse, Moon, Espinoza, Lundqvist, Parker, Walker, LaRoe, Wessel, Zappa, Porter-Kelly, Draco, Kinoshita, Leckie on the lead lap. 14 cars on the lead lap. Christina Espinoza 15th. Esther Hobson 16th. They are both 1 lap down. Gerard Perth 2 laps down. Pace car is in. Cameron Jackson controls the restart out of turn 14. On his call, and here he goes. We're back underway once again. Isabel Espinoza trying to make a move to get back onto the podium steps here. Espinoza actually stepping out really wide, and that was contact between Moon and Lacasse going to the braking zone. Draco's on the charge. Cars are spun out there. That's Christina Espinoza. That's Gerard Perth, but no caution. We stay green. Everyone's still rolling. Everyone stays rolling. We're back to green. How long can we stay green? This is Cameron Jackson going into the chicane. Turns 12, 13, and 14. With Isabel Espinoza falling right behind. Cameron Jackson going into pit lane. Cameron Jackson forfeits the race lead. It now belongs in the hands of Isabel Espinoza. Draco now with a top 5. Excuse me, Draco's sitting in 6th position. Almost the top 5. He just has to get past Ronald Walker to do it. It's Isabel Espinosa leading, Hazel Lacasse 2nd, Mildred Moon 3rd, and then it's Siri Lundquist sitting in 4th. She's got to fend off Ronald Walker as they go side by side down the Boulevard Straight. Ronald Walker's going to take it away, maybe, through the flick chicane. Lundquist has got the line that she needs. She'll stay ahead for the moment, but now she runs on the curb trying to give Walker space. She had plenty, so I'm not sure why. Walker's going to have to send it under braking. Draco has nowhere to go. He'd be foolish to try to make it 3 wide here, especially knowing that the gap's open. Andrew Draco now up to 5th, passing Lundquist to take that position. Porter Kelly is sitting now in the 10th position. Andrew Draco now up to 4th. We're looking at him as he tries to climb onto the podium. Kelly Zappa battling with Tyler Parker. See Porter Kelly trying to get past Esther Hofson here. Trying to retain 10th place. She's already lost at the Simona Leroux, but now she's trying to get it back here. Actually, no, Leroux stayed in front of her, so Leroux's 9th. Porter Kelly's 10th. You see Kenosha with damage on her side pod. Then Nicole Lecty. Last car on the lead lap. Well, next to last car on the lead lap. This is the battle for the race lead. It's Espinoza and Lacasse. Mildred Moon right on tail 2, and then Andrew Draco on the charge, trying to make it up into the podium places. What a race he's had. We're on lap 49 of 85. Watching as Espinoza tries to open up a little bit of a gap. Gaps seems like it's more of a myth at this point, with cautions happening every few laps. It's all about just making sure you're ahead of the car around you. Both Lacasse and Espinoza accomplished road racers. Mildred Moon has showed her prowess on road courses as well. So she's no laughing matter about that at all. Lacasse is in the striking range. Andrew Draco is in earshot of the podium as well. Top 4 within 1.5 seconds. Mildred Moon trying to make a move on Lacasse. Lacasse had a slow turn 1. So Mildred Moon's going to try to make it happen. Very close. But Lacasse has the line. So going down the Boulevard straight, Lacasse will hold on to 2nd. Andrew Draco sits in distant 4th. Then it's Lundquist who's got damage. Walker who has damage. Tyler Parker with damage. Kaylee Zappa with damage. Simona Leroux seems relatively clean, but the car just doesn't have the pace. Esther Hofson is a lap down. Looking at Porter Kelly as she tries desperately to get more than just 10th place. Andrew Draco's got the podium. There's Andrew Draco defending from Mildred Moon. Mildred Moon trying to take a peek to the inside of turn 13. There's Hazel Lacasse. Sitting further behind. The gap between Lacasse and Espinosa has opened up dramatically. 1.5 seconds. That gap did cover the entire top 4. Andrew Draco looking for possibly his second win of the season, and I don't think we would have said that after lap 2. But this race has played out to where it could possibly happen for him. Drivers trying to navigate as carefully as they can. Porticali trying to get past Hobson. Hobson just taking her lane. Cars in front of her are for position, minus Hobson. Hobson in the pink and white. The BWT car, not for position, but LaRoe and Zappa is. She needs to get by. And she just can't. So we'll look at Porticali as she tries to get further than 10th place. Draco's up to second. So there's Lacasse sitting in 3rd place now. There's the battle for 3rd. It's Mildred Moon getting by Lacasse. Lacasse still battling side by side with Moon, going through turn 1. Has to give it up. Moon had the lane. The only consolation for Lacasse is that, again, she can't finish worse than 4th right now. She's so far ahead of Lundqvist and Walker and Parker. She might just need to kind of catch her breath and go back at it again. Now that she's kind of back to where she can get her momentum back going. Just kind of take care of the tires a little bit and see what she can do with it. Andrew Draco's trying so hard to catch up to Isabel Espinosa. he's done it. He's there now. Isabel Espinosa trying to take care of her tires now. Draco's just pushing. After the race that he's had so far, he's just pushing. There's nothing left for him, really. He's just got to go for it. Draco almost sent it into turn 1. Got it locked up in time. But it cost him a little bit of time out of turn 1. Through turns 2, 3, 4, and now coming to 5 and 6. As it puts them back on the Boulevard straight here, the back straightaway for the road course. Everyone's had a little bit more time to catch their breath, try to get themselves composed. Draco's desperately close. When Draco and Espinosa start battling, it will allow Moon and Lacasse to catch back up, even to a slight degree. Draco sending it through the chicane. And he's going to take the lead. Andrew Draco, after being down in 24th, now leads the Firestone Grand Prix of Indianapolis. Wouldn't have guessed that. Ronald Walker looks like is in. It's either Walker or Lundqvist that's in. It is Walker. Pit stops are happening. Those are 3 lead lap cars. 3, 4, 5 lead lap cars are in. So green flag pit stops are happening for the first time. So now we're looking at it. Andrew Draco is the race leader, and then it's Isabel Espinosa, Mildred Moon, Hazel Lacasse, Siri Lundqvist sitting in 4th. Then you have Kaylee Zappa now sitting in 5th, technically. Christina Espinosa 6th. Not Christine. Stephanie Porter Kelly sitting 6th. There's Nicole Lecty. Cameron Jackson. Wonder if Cameron Jackson's going to try to stretch out a little bit. We'll see. Draco stays out. So does Isabel Espinosa. Most of the drivers are coming in this time, except for the race leaders. So what was the reason Cameron Jackson came to pit lane for? Because he sacrificed the race lead to do it. I wonder if he's trying to mathematically put this to where he only has to do one more stop in general, because he's not stopped again yet. So as far as this cycle goes, he's off of the cycle. But by how much, and does it help him? There's Andrew Draco, the race leader. We know that he's got a pit stop coming soon. Same with Isabel Espinosa. They are the only 2 of the top leaders that have not yet pit. Draco's pitting this time, and so is Isabel Espinosa. But will the tires matter for the undercut? It just might. There's Cameron Jackson. They seem very far back. And Mildred Moon with an engine failure. Mildred Moon looking within a great shot of a podium. Not going to finish this one either. So a bad weekend all around for LM competition now. Cameron Jackson inherits the race lead once again. Then it's Lacasse. Lacasse is going to be behind Draco and Espinoza, but she's got the warm tires now. Can she close the gap? Cameron Jackson, now the race leader. If he can make it, see how far he can make it, because this will be an interesting little stop for Cameron Jackson. Mathematically speaking, if he makes it beyond lap 60, he could try to stretch it to the end if he wanted to. It's just a matter of if it's going to work for him. He's got a clean car. He's not had any incidents on track so far today. Is it something that he's capable of doing? He stays out. Cameron Jackson could possibly be in a position where he could use strategy to try to win this race. Because we know the race leaders, the provisional race leaders, Andrew Draco and Isabel Espinoza, still have one more stop. So there's Andrew Draco. There's Cameron Jackson coming off of the Boulevard Straight. And what has been an absolute cluster of a race so far. This is the longest green flag run we've had all race long. Cameron Jackson stays out once more. I think Cameron Jackson's staying out as long as he can. If he can stay out until lap 63. If he can stay out until lap 63 or 64 even. Cameron Jackson could possibly walk away with this race in hand. But that's a lot of question marks right now. He's got a 6.6 second lead over Andrew Draco and then 7.7 over Isabel Espinoza. Cameron Jackson stays out again. One more lap. Cameron Jackson still holding the lead. He's lost a second to Andrew Draco, but if this pit stop cycle works for Cameron Jackson, if he does end up stretching this one out, it may not matter. So Cameron Jackson, this strategy for Cameron could either be fantastic or it could fail. Mojo Moon's out. A gearbox issue for Moon is just like what it was for Ray Taylor. He stays out one more time. if Cameron Jackson can make it a couple more laps, it'd be an interesting story to tell. I don't see. The issue is that I don't see this. I don't see the strategy working. Because Cameron would have to go 20 laps per stint. Well, go 21 laps one stint, and then 20 laps to finish the race, or inverted. He's got to stretch it out quite a bit here, and he's already been stretching it out by a few laps. If he comes in this lap, then it's a give up on that strategy. He's got to go to about 20. He's got to go to about 65. At least 65, and he's coming in this time, so that might be a forfeit on that strategy here. Draco's going to re-inherit the lead here. Then it's Isabel Espinosa. And then Hazel Lacasse, now firmly in podium's position now. That's third place for Lacasse. And it's not Cameron Jackson, Tyler Parker, Ronald Walker, and Siri Lundquist. So it's not over yet by any stretch of the imagination with one pit stop left in this race. Porter Kelly's up to 9th. If things stay as they are, Draco will clinch the championship with a win today. But if he doesn't, if he finishes second and Porter Kelly stays within the top 10, if Porter Kelly stays 9th or higher and Draco does not win, then the championship stays open. 18 points is how much Draco needs to outscore Porter Kelly today to prevent Fontana from being the decider. This is a lot like 2017 all over again. With 2017, it was at Gateway, and Black Rose Racing ended up lining up a 1-2-3 finish. And Draco's had to earn this one. He's had to earn this race. He's had to earn the championship a harder way. Two veterans of the series, two veterans of American Open Wheel Racing, duking it out all season long. Porter Kelly gave it everything in qualifying, but the race, as unpredictable and as volatile as it has been, did not fall in her favor. Draco carved his way through, carved his own path, and now he sits with a very good-looking opportunity ahead of him to possibly go and win. All season long we've been talking about it. It's been Draco doing what he needs to do. There's a reason that he's got such a phenomenal top 10 record this season. He's earned the nickname Captain Consistency because he has become so dependable. The growth that Draco has shown as a lead driver and as a mentor to David Wessel for that team has been nothing short of astounding. The growth that we've seen from him and that the growth of that team has been nothing short of astounding. This is Draco firing back. He's fought, he's scratched, he's clawed. With 21 laps to go, there's only really one person that could take it away from him right now, and that's Isabel Espinosa. You see how many rubber marks there are coming out of turn 6 there. See Cameron Jackson, he just pit, and he's still got a top 10. Porter Kelly is now up to 8th. Isabel Espinosa, she needs to start trying to close the gap a little bit more, but Draco may just be too good right now. Coming out of turn 14, it's Andrew Draco leading, and that gap's going to open pretty wide over Isabel Espinosa. 1.7, almost 0.3 of a second. Hazel Lacasse sitting third, making up for the podium that she didn't get back in Road America 2 weeks ago. She's 7.5 behind Draco. See, there's Kenosha, last car on the lead lap. Cameron Jackson getting past Christina Espinoza. He's chasing down David Russell, who's on older tires now. Cameron Jackson now charging through the field. Can he make that strategy work? It's an interesting question to ask. Wessel losing time. So he's not going to be a factor here for Cameron Jackson. Cameron Jackson's just going to... He's on a sprint race now. You see Gerard Perth with the damage left on his car still. Stephanie Porter-Kelly doing everything she can. She's sitting 8th. She needs to chase down Siri Lundquist, who is right in front of her. 2 F1 veterans. Porter-Kelly with a resume that shocks and awes at times. And Simona Leroux, a 13-time F1 Grand Prix winner, has not had the season to go with it. Highlight Racing very much in a restructuring and a rebuilding year. See it coming out of turn 14 here. The gap between those two now less than a second. Less than half a second. You see them going through on the Holman Boulevard here. And Porter-Kelly's got to run. She's going to go to the outside. To the outside of Stephanie Porter-Kelly. And Porter-Kelly's going to go through. That's 7th. If she can hold on to it. If Leroux doesn't get a good run, which she might... They're still side by side. They're going to be side by side going into the chicane. Porter-Kelly's going to try to leap ahead. She's going to try to outbrake as well going into the chicane of turn 12. Porter-Kelly clears. Job done for Porter-Kelly. That's 7th place in the back pocket. 6th place now sits well ahead of her by 7 seconds. That's Siri Lundquist. The gap between 1st and 2nd is now over 2 seconds. Andrew Draco now has a rhythm. He's starting to pull away. Lacasse now 8.8 seconds back. But over 12 seconds ahead of Tyler Parker, who's just not coming onto the Boulevard straightaway. So Tyler Parker's best result of the year comes at Indianapolis. His home race. He's Indianapolis born and raised. Didn't have a good result at the 500 this year. Looking at Hazel Lacasse, she's sitting in 3rd. She's one of the few cars that does not have damage in this race so far. .2. Lacasse was one of the early pitters. So she's on older tires now. She'll be one of the first to come in for the final stop here. That pit window has opened. That's Lundquist battling with Ronald Walker. That's for 5th. Ronald Walker defending really well. 10 cars are out of this race, with Mildred Moon being the most recent retirement. 16 cars still running, 13 on the lead lap. This is a battle for 5th and 6th between Walker in the 97 and Lundqvist in the 96. Lundqvist with the better power out of turn 13, onto turn 14 in the front straightaway. And you see Porter Kelly so far back. He's got a lot of work to do to try to get back into the top 5, to try to keep the championship open. Because as it stands, Draco is going to take the World Championship with a race win. Porter Kelly would need to finish 4th or higher, which means she has to close the gap on 4th of Tyler Parker and try to pass him using pit strategy and just an overall pace. There's Lacasse sitting 9.5 behind the race leader, Isabel Espinosa. Does she make an early pit stop? She will not this time. Someone's got to be a little bit brave here to try to make something happen. Strategically, it's Isabel Espinosa's really to go for. Draco can just kind of sit and wait his time, but Isabel Espinosa needs to start being a little bit more crafty with her strategy here. She wants to try to get the lead back. She needs to pit, come out in clear air, get warm tires, and really just dash it to the finish. Make up the time that she can, because Draco's just going to sit and wear the tires out. That's how Draco can go. Draco's got such a dominant car right now. And caution's out. Caution's out. This changes the race, and that's Ronald Walker. And Tyler Parker's in the pit lane as well. Caution is out, and this changes everything. Absolutely everything changes. So Andrew Draco has to defend one more time. Draco's not led a restart yet. So this is all new. It's all to play for once more. We'll see what happened here with Tyler Parker and with Ronald Walker here. Because there's a lot of damage. That is in the pit lane. And he tried. That is embarrassing for Ronald Walker. Embarrassing for Ronald Walker. Tyler Parker actually is in the sweet spot here, because Tyler Parker was in the pit lane before the yellow came out. Tyler Parker will inherit the lead of this race. Pit lane's closed, so everyone's going to have to catch back up to the pace car. Tyler Parker will inherit the lead of this race on the final restart because he pit right before the caution came out. So Tyler Parker's future is uncertain for 2021. Team Impulse has said that they're not retaining him. They're not retaining Thomas Rogers. They don't know who they're bringing in to fill that third car, if anyone. But they know that Tyler Parker is not going to be a part of it. So Tyler Parker's really in a showcase of his career right now. And it's going to be dangerous because a lot of the field is going to be coming in at different times here. So Andrew Draco could have an issue on pit lane like what he did last time. Draco's going to stay ahead. Was afraid that something bad was going to happen there between the championship competitors, but it didn't, thankfully. They gave each other enough room. Lundqvist, Jackson. Jackson's going to be in the top 5 here, so Jackson's got a shot at it still. This saves him a lot, because he's going to be top 5. Draco now has the most pressure of anybody. And Tyler Parker, because he couldn't catch up to the safety car queue, he does not get the race lead, so that is still on Andrew Draco. Looking through it here, there is a lot riding on this one restart here. Draco hopping the curbs there under yellow. That is Gerard Perth, who is unable... Gerard Perth, the third L competition car, will not make the finish. He is out of power. That is a clutched car right now, trying to limp it as much as he can to try to get it home. But that is the third LM competition car to not have power, to have a component go wrong and end his race. And Gerard Perth was not having much of a race to begin with. So everyone will go by. This is going to be one of the most interesting restarts we have seen. So, for the 8th time, we're going to rack it up and try it again. Oh my goodness. Fastest lap so far belongs to Carmen Jackson still. Then it's Andrew Draco, then Isabel Espinoza. Isabel Espinoza and Andrew Draco, 2 thousandths apart on their fastest laps. So we know Espinoza's got the pace to do this. It's just, can she get the jump on Draco on this restart? And what about Hazel Lacasse? Third car in line usually gets a better start. I guess with how the air just happens to travel, it just goes better. Gerard Perth looks like they're going to try to keep him running, just in case anything happens on this restart. But theoretically, he's going to be the last car running. So now we're down to 15 cars. Two more laps of caution, one more after this one. One more lap of caution here, and then we'll be going back to green. So we'll be going back to green with 9 laps to go. It's Andrew Draco, Isabel Espinosa, Hazel Lacasse, Tyler Parker, Siri Lundquist, Cameron Jackson, Stephanie Porter-Kelly, Simona LaRoe, Kaylee Zappa, David Wessel, Nicole Leckie, Kinemitsu Kinoshita, Esther Hofson, Christina Espinosa, and then Gerard Perth in that order. 12 cars on lead lap, 3 cars 1 lap down or more. And for Andrew Draco, this is a chance to clinch his second IndyCar World title. This is going to be one of the most nerve-wracking restarts we have seen all race long, and we've seen a lot of nerve-wracking stuff today. Draco cannot mess this done. He cannot mess this restart up. He has to get the job done here. I'm merged sentences there, and I'm sorry, but this is going to be an exciting 9 laps left in the Firestone Grand Prix of Indianapolis. Andrew Draco controlling the restart. Pace cars on pit lane. The tension is mounting. We are green for the 9th time. Indianapolis. Jackson is the first one to pull out of line, trying to make a late break and move. And wow, almost contact between Lacasse and Ishibashi. Not Ishibashi, but Espinosa. Ishibashi's out of the race, but it allows Draco to get clear. And Lacasse goes to P2. Cameron Jackson battling for third, may end up getting it. Close, not close enough. Everyone made it through. The problem area is clean. Can Lacasse do anything to challenge Draco? Yes, she can. She's closing the gap. Lacasse going for win number 2. Draco going for win number 2 on the season and the championship to boot. Coming to 8 laps to go here in Indianapolis. All eyes on Andrew Draco and Hazel Lacasse. Hazel Lacasse has to pull the gap close. Cameron Jackson up to 4th. You see that massive cars coming to the start-finish line now. Porter-Kelly's in that. That's not good enough to retain the challenge for the world title. That is down to 9th for Porter-Kelly. Can Lacasse pull the gap close? It's less than a second. Can she keep it that way? Reminder that cautions do end races here in Champ Car. If a caution comes out with less than 6 laps to go, it is race over. So Lacasse needs to use every ounce of her car to try to get the gap closed. She's using it through that flick chicane, using up the rears for sure. Is it going to be enough? Lacasse denied a podium at Road America, denied a finish at Valkenburg from the podium paying position, so she's had a lot of bad luck. She's making the most of it here. A very good exit at turn 13. Draco going to be feeling the pressure here coming soon. 7 laps to go. Lacasse is within dive bomb range, as we like to call it. And then, as you see, she's peeking to the inside, getting air to her wing before entering turn 1, helping with the braking quite a bit. Lacasse is going to give Draco an absolute challenge. Andrew Draco fighting for so much. Lacasse battling simply to right the wrongs that she's experienced this season outside of Toronto. And she is so close, so tantalizingly close to Draco's gearbox. Third place is Espinoza, then it's Cameron Jackson in fourth, Tyler Parker, Simona Leroux, Stephanie Porter-Kelly moving up to 7th, Siri Lundquist down to 8th, 9th is Kaylee Zappa, 10th is David Wessel, then it's Kenoshita and Lechty. The gap opened up a little bit by 0.2. 6 laps to go here in Indianapolis. What a race we've had, and hopefully this turns out to be the finish we deserve. Lacasse not giving it up. As it stands, Draco could finish second and still clinch the world title with where Porter-Kelly is right now. How much does he want to risk it? And how much does Lacasse want to risk it, knowing that this is the last road course race of the season? The first road course race Champ Car's ever run on Indianapolis. How's her run into the chicane? She's got a lot better line. A lot better line through turn 12. And now she's got the draft coming out of turn 14. 5 to go. It's Draco, Lacasse, Espinoza, Jackson. The gap stayed about the same that lap through between first and second. Keeping an eye on Hazel Lacasse as she tries to fight for her second ever Champ Car victory. All eyes are also on Andrew Draco, having fought through so much today. Trying to get back onto the oval complex here. Lacasse keeping him honest. A 35-year-old Draco looking for his second world title. Trying to hold off the hot shot of Lacasse. Coming down the front straightaway, 4 laps to go now. The gap is still staying relatively steady. Draco pulled a little bit that time, but Hazel Lacasse with the braking pulled it all back in. Through the first section, turns 4. Coming to turns 5 and 6 onto the Boulevard Straight. Porter-Kelly needs 4th or higher if Draco wins to keep the championship alive. Draco simply needs to keep Lacasse behind. Through the chicanes, 13 now. Lacasse is still on him, keeping him honest. She's going to gain time this lap. 3 to go. The gap's almost cut in half. Lacasse gonna send it, closing the gap less than a tenth. This is an interesting battle. It is going to be tooth and nail between Lacasse and Draco to finish this one out. Draco is absolutely on the mark, trying to keep Lacasse behind. Porter-Kelly's hoping Lacasse can get something done. Lacasse winning, with Porter-Kelly sitting in 7th position at the time, would guarantee the championship goes to Fontana. Lacasse, this is the closest she's been through this flick chicane. Coming back to the oval. Draco had a better power delivery coming out of that last corner. Going through the chicane, turn 12. Gap opened up, coming to 2 to go. Lacasse trying so hard. 0.7 was the gap across the line, the most it's been since the restart. Lacasse may have burned off the front tires a bit too much, trying to challenge, but she's going to have one more lap to try to get something done. She needs to nail the final chicane complex, turns 12, 13, and 14. To try to get a run on Draco on this final lap. What does this gap look like? It may not be enough. White flag is out, 1 lap to go, presented by PNC. The gap's 1.1. It's a massive gap to try to ask to have closed. She's gonna need a miracle here. Andrew Draco just needs to hit his marks like he has done all race long. The pressure, the insanity, the calamities that have happened all race long for Andrew Draco. And he ends up on point with the final restart having to hold off a very game Hazel Lacasse. Down the Boulevard Straight for the final time. Going through the chicane. Turn 10. Coming to turn 11. Approaching turn 12 for the final time. Andrew Draco's leading Hazel Lacasse. Lacasse still trying to make something happen here. Draco taking it very easy. Lacasse closed the gap massively. But it's not enough. For the first time, Andrew Draco wins the road course at Indianapolis and wins his 2nd IndyCar World title. The legend continues for Andrew Draco. Under the worst pressure he has ever faced in his career, he holds firm. It's the win and the championship with 1 race remaining once again for San Francisco's finest. Lacasse with a very game 2nd place finish. Podium position for Lacasse all race long. Isabel Espinosa couldn't hold on to it. Instead, having to settle for 3rd. Cameron Jackson, best case scenario for him, finishing 4th. After potentially ending up probably only getting 7th or 8th, had the caution not come out at the end. How close it was for Stephanie Porter-Kelly. That last lap, she went from 8th to 5th, but fails to score the 2 points she needed to keep the championship alive. Simona Leroux finishing 6th. Siri Lundqvist 8th behind Tyler Parker. Tyler Parker, that was a drag race. It looked like Tyler Parker 7th, Siri Lundqvist 8th, Kelly Zappa 9th, David Wessel in 10th. Kelly Zappa with a lot of damage on the side pod to hold on to 9th. David Wessel in 10th, Kenosha 11th, Nicole Lechty in 12th. But it is David Wessel. It is David Wessel with a 10th place finish to be investigated. It's Andrew Draco and Phantom Motors, champions of the world. That was a finish. That was an absolute finish. Andrew Draco now joins a very limited list of multiple-time IndyCar World Champions. And for Porter Kelly, it just wasn't enough. 2 points is all she needed. But she couldn't get it done. So close. So close for Porter Kelly. What a race. What a showcase. Take a bow, Andrew Draco. What a race. Andrew Draco, second race win of the season. His first race win came from a Lausitz, all the way back in the middle of the season. But he's been captain consistency. What a job well done. So Andrew Draco takes the race win, he takes the IndyCar World title, he takes the Henna Venäläinen Road Course Trophy Award for the best results through the road course portion of the season. That leaves one race left, Fontana, and it's all formalities. It's for the Triple Crown. It's for the Oval Cup. But for Andrew Draco, it is going to be the easiest race of his career. Once again, knowing that nothing that happens at Fontana can change that he is now a 2-time IndyCar World Champion. What a run. What a run. What a season it has been with one race to go. 2 weeks' time, it is the Intel 500 at Auto Club Speedway, the final race of the season. What a roller coaster ride this race has been. What a roller coaster ride this season has been. We can't wait to see you at Fontana, California for the Auto Club Speedway event to wrap up what has been a very entertaining season. Well earned by Draco, well earned podiums by Lacasse and Isabel Espinosa as well. For the Champ Car World Series, for Horizon Corporation, for AT&T, we hope you come back and you watch the finale. So long, everyone. Good night.